Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Eight of Cups Tarot, and welcome to my very first installment of what I hope to be a long-term addition to my channel, which is a weekly forecast. Early on in the week, sometime between Sunday and Tuesday, I will post a new weekly reading. It will consist of a quick astrology update with some of the transits that are occurring throughout the week, and then we'll lead into a pick a pile reading in which there will be 3 piles of cards that you can choose from. Now, the cards will differ, the stones will differ, the themes will differ according to, the astrological energies of that week, but it will remain the same. There will be 3 piles to choose from. I ask that you take a look at the thumbnail at the beginning of the video. Kind of focus on what you're called to, which pile that you're called to. And sometimes this can be as simple as choosing a color. I'll try to use 3 very different colors in each stone. So for instance, in this reading, we have a green stone leading to heart chakra, magenta, which is reading to inspiration and higher knowledge and intuition. And then we have a yellow stone, which is kind of a energy of our solar plexus drive, our kind of primal intuitive energy. You can certainly ask a question for each pile, and I promise if you listen, the answer will come. You are certainly welcome to listen to each reading because there are always spiritual messages and things that we can hear and grow from, grow our knowledge and our wisdom. And maybe some of them will resonate to you in which you feel compelled to share them with a friend who's going through a similar situation. I do thank all of you for coming, and I do hope that you get some wisdom that helps you throughout each week in these segments. My intentions are always to empower you, as are the intentions of the universe. We're not here to strip you down and see how much you could take. It is always a question of how much you can grow. So please keep that in mind. It's important that my subscribers are kind of open to the wisdom of what the universe has to share with you. Okay, so this week, and part of the reason why I chose to move to a weekly platform for updates is because there's so many shifts in energy. And I didn't want to really just hone in on 1 or 2 major transits for the month. It was kind of easier to just take it step by step. So looking quickly at the aspects for this week, we have a couple personal planets that are changing energies as they move into a different sign. Now, for starters, the sun is still in Virgo. It is Virgo season. So we are all feeling the need to be productive. Time management will probably be a theme, organizing, getting things in order. We're probably finishing out some old stuff, right? Saturn is getting ready to make its way direct in a couple of weeks. That occurs at the end of September. So Saturn's intention right now is to tie up loose ends, to close out old karmic cycles. And that Virgo energy comes in and it shows us what needs to be closed up. It illuminates things that need to be taken care of at this time. It could also talk to us about our health. It could talk to us about our need for healing, mental, physical, what is best for our body, our nutrition, a lot of dietary focus. Virgo in the lower forms can be really self-critical, could really tear ourselves down. Now I say that because I'm a Virgo with a Virgo stellium, so I'm familiar with the Virgo cycles of analysis paralysis. Some of the things that a Virgo is kind of known for is their brashness, their honesty. but it doesn't come from a place of ever wanting anyone to feel less than or that the Virgo is better. The Virgo is here to make you shine. So these opportunities are a way to make you shine, to improve your life in some way. Mercury moves into Libra this week, which changes up our communication style. Mercury in Libra can see both sides of the story. They can really lean towards equality. And of course, the focus when anything is in Libra is in our relationship and our personal balance. Another big one for the week is Venus moving into Leo. Now, Venus was in Cancer for a while, making us really sensitive to things surrounding our family, our home, and our need for security, emotional, physical forms of stability in our life. And Venus in Leo steps into an energy of wanting to be seen, wanting to be valued, wanting to be appreciated. Our feminine energy may be needing some attention right now. Now, a couple other really big things are happening this month, this week in particular. Mars, which we've been talking about extensively lately, moving into, he stations and stops in the later degrees of Aries and starts to move retrograde. This is a slow process. However, the dates surrounding the actual stationing, which I believe occurs on Wednesday, is usually a time when something kind of comes to light, something big happens. And Mars is a big planet. There's a lot of momentum behind him, especially towards the end degrees of Aries. As he makes this big shift, this big momentum behind him, this pressure to achieve, to get results, to get answers, it makes this square to Saturn, which again is a long-term energy. This isn't just something that's going to happen all of a sudden. And a Mars square with Saturn, especially when Mars is in Aries and Saturn is in Capricorn, both in their both exalted signs, there's a need of self-mastery, because what we're doing isn't just a satisfaction of our desires. It is more about building the foundation for something that's going to be long-lasting. Now, in terms of expectations this week, I wouldn't really look for anything to be set in stone. Instead, what you might expect is for there to be cracks in the foundation that are shown to you now. And now is sort of a gift. It's sort of a time period where we can correct these things before we continue to build on them and the foundations fall apart. It's a gift of time to really get strong within ourselves, to really make solid decisions for our future. And it's a time where we start to move with more confidence towards our path and purpose and our destiny, because Saturn always talks about karma. Mars in Aries is an initiating cycle. So throughout 2020, there's been this new thing that we've been trying to start, this new thing that we want to move towards, whatever that is for you. There's a need to move towards and achieve something. And yet Saturn keeps making you, kind of like when you take your car in before you take it on a major road trip, right? Like, just make sure you get that tune up, make sure everything's operating. That's kind of the time period we're in. It can, however, be frustrating. It can be frustrating because we could take the car in for what we think is going to be a simple tune-up, and all of a sudden we start to find bigger problems. Problems which might affect our ability to even go on that road trip to begin with. Things that simply feel sort of out of our control. And yet there's a masculine energy where there's a need for self-discipline, and we're starting to look at the lessons we learned and what happens when we don't really operate from a place of self-discipline. Now, while I'm on that subject, Jupiter is also moving direct this week. Now, I know this is a lot, and that's why I really wanted to hone in on 1 week at a time, because I think the best way to handle this energy is one step at a time, 1 foot in front of the other. There's no need to make major commitments right now, to jump into big things, those giant leaps of faith that I talk about throughout our monthly readings. This is not a week where that's going to happen. In fact, it's really not a month that that's going to happen. However, we may gain clarity. We may gain direction this week in particular. And as Jupiter moves through this sign, it kind of expands this energy of this Mars square Saturn. And it's a really interesting element because it's going to really make the cracks deeper. But it could also bring gifts. Jupiter moving through Capricorn can give us endurance to get through the things we need to get through, to face the things that we have to face. Meaning that if there's any reparations, if there's any need to correct karma at this time, there is also the ability with it that we see the greater wisdom. We see what we're meant to learn from this circumstance. And we could really benefit. We could really, if we make the correct, I hate to commit to that word even. If we're willing to adjust as we go, if we're willing to receive criticism, if we're willing to have an open mind about things, to remain flexible and not take things so personally, if we can move through a higher octave of Virgo in the name of self-improvement and self-mastery, we can make a lot of progress this week. It does feel as though it's going to be a very productive month, even though it might be 1 step forward, 3 steps back, 1 step forward, 2 steps back, kind of a push and a pull kind of energy throughout the week. At the end of the day, progress will be made. And it's important that you stay patient. Mars squaring Saturn, if nothing more, is teaching us the need to be patient. Okay, let's get into the 3-card pile. If you click on the description box below, there will be timestamps. So if you want to jump to a certain color or a certain number pile, then feel free to do so at this time. Okay, pile number 1. Take a look at your energy for this week. 9 of Swords, King of Wands, the Ace of Wands, the Magician, the 4 of Pentacles in reverse, and your energy is coming out as that of the Knight of Wands. Really awesome energy right there. The Hummingbird. Card number 27, Exchanging Gifts. Card number 21, Dove Spirit. And Full Moon, Surrender to the Divine. Okay, let's get into this spread quickly, and then I'm actually going to take the time to read these oracle cards to you because I think they might really play in with the cards that lay above them. And they may really speak to you in a lot of different ways so that you can understand this energy clearly. You are coming out this week as the Knight of Wands, meaning that you are probably being led by this desire. You simply, looking at this right here with this Ace of Wands, a King of Wands, there's a lot of fire. And there's no coincidence that you chose this green stone of the heart chakra, meaning that you may have your heart on your sleeve, Knight of Wands. Now, the thing about the Knight of Wands, that although you are willing to run after what it is your heart desires, the bigger picture may not be there this week. Nine of Swords energy and the Knight of Wands. There's a very big duality here. Nine of Swords energy is a card of worry, of anxiety, of sleepless nights. It's a negative energy. And this Knight of Wands is really no match for this Nine of Swords. I think this is something from your past, something that you're stepping away from this week. Maybe something happened over the weekend that put you in kind of a insecure mode, because when we're in a Nine of Swords energy, we're kind of focusing on all of the things that could go wrong, all of the things that may not work out to our benefit. This is anticipatory anxiety at its best. And the thing is, I don't see anything negative in your cards. This Nine of Swords certainly does not fit in with any of this energy. There seems to be a shift in your vitality. There seems to be a shift in your circumstances this week. Now, the King of Wands is looking directly at this Nine of Swords, and it almost feels as if it's somewhat of an out-of-body experience, in that you are actually having the opportunity to observe yourself. You're really looking at what happens when you allow yourself to be in this Nine of Swords place. This is in your head. These are illusions. Like I said, none of this is reality. This Nine of Swords is your imagination running away from you. It's rooted in fear, in lack mentality, in abandonment, in worst case scenarios. This could be intuitive, or you could feel as though it's intuitive. Maybe there's this nagging feeling like something is going to go wrong. Yet the King of Wands is looking at this Nine of Swords and simply reminding you that you have a choice. You have a choice in where you want to put your energy. You have a choice in where you want to put your focus. King of Wands is emotional and intuitive growth. The Knight of Wands that you are in this week is growing into this King of Wands, who is staring this Nine of Swords energy right in the face and saying enough is enough. Next to the King of Wands is the Ace of Wands, meaning there is an opportunity. There is something here for you to grab a hold of. Maybe you are in this Nine of Swords energy because there is something that you desire. There is something that you have your eyes, your focus on. And I think you're braced to grab it. Like I said, there's a lot of anticipatory anxiety here. Next to the Ace of Wands is that of the Magician. Mercury energy, specifically Virgo. This is the creator. This is the creator energy. And this is what I'm talking about. This is an exercise in your own personal peace. It's an exercise in boundaries, in the way that you think, the way that you calculate things, the way that you bring in the things that you desire. The Magician suggests that you have everything that you need. Now, if you are starting a business, if you are starting a new relationship, it's really important to understand that the attitude that you go in with it is indicative of exactly what you're going to get out. You are creating the story. And if you're creating the story, what stories are you telling? Are you telling yourself a story of this King of Wands that has a goal but fails? Or are you telling yourself a story of a King of Wands that grabs this Ace of Wands and makes it his? There's a lot of intuition with the King of Wands and the Ace of Wands. It's being able to see the opportunities in front of you, seeing the truth, seeing the potential. It's seeing the magic in things. And it's not easy to see those things if you're hiding in bed, covering your eyes, afraid to look, afraid to see this truth, afraid to see the illumination. And the Magician says there's nothing to fear. There's a lot about confidence here. That the universe is trying to hand you an opportunity. And are you going to spend time feeling unworthy? Like there's some role that you won't be able to fulfill for somebody or for something, or that you won't be good enough? If you want to achieve something of greatness, there is always something that has to be sacrificed. And at this point, the thing that you are sacrificing this week is this Nine of Swords anxiety energy. It's choosing to let go of all the ways that you feel you need to prepare yourself for any kind of failure that can occur. Overthinking. It's important that you get your rest. It's really important that you get your rest this week. Because a King of Wands operates on intuition. And the Magician is firing at all cylinders. There is movement this week. There is potential this week. There is desire for success this week. But you got to let this go. You got to move at something like you are a Knight of Wands, like you don't care what the outcome is. Like you're just going to allow the universe to deliver what's meant to be yours. See, the thing is, you may be a little out of your element if you feel like there's something that you have to put a lot of work and effort into. Because I don't think that's what this is. I think the work's been done. And now you are waiting. You know, this Ace of Wands is kind of like when you plant a flower and you wait and nothing's happening, and then you're thinking, oh my God, I did it wrong. The roots didn't take. I forgot. I didn't water it. It's probably dead. That's the Nine of Swords energy. Yet the Ace of Wands is when suddenly that little green leaf peeks out on top of the dirt and there's growth. The seed was planted. The desire was acknowledged. The universe acknowledged your desire and it's bringing it to you. And you have to clear that path. You have to clear that path. You have to overcome that negativity. You have to recognize the magician stands in his power. He understands he's a creator of his own existence, of his own reality. That when he focuses on the negative things, the universe delivers more negative things. And when he focuses on the positive, on what is best for him, for his greater good, best for his family, best for, his career. It is important to acknowledge the level of manifesting that you're doing at this time. Trust that you planted the seed and it is coming to the surface. There is growth, even if you can't see it right now. And the only thing you need to do is follow the path of least resistance. Follow your intuition, which is going to be really hard to follow if you're full of self-doubt and worry. I'm going to read these to you. Card number 26, the hummingbird. Now this breaks down to an 8, which reminds me also of this 8, the sign of eternity that's above the magician's head. Change, transformation. Despite being so little, hummingbirds are great journeyers, migrating between North and Central or South America to feed from the summer nectar. This gentle creature can be fiercely territorial to protect its home. Hummingbird teaches us to be gentle to ourselves and protect our personal space. Hummingbird invites you to embark on your epic quest, bypass the dung pile of old pain and hurts, and head for the flowers, and learn to trust the calling you hear ever so softly. The buzzing you feel is a sound of your hummingbird wings preparing you to say yes to a new adventure. This is not the time to linger on what has gone wrong, but to trust in the rightness of the moment and take bold action. Trust that success is assured, even if you must face tests and challenges to reach your destination. Know that all will be well because the all is in the small. This mighty being comes to teach you stillness in motion and to trust your inner knowing that the sweetest nectar is assured. Failing to act when the moment is right can spoil your journey. If you feel your safety, comfort, or day-to-day survival are more important than saying yes to an invitation to explore the unknown, you will have to work much harder to achieve what is being offered to you freely now. Still your mind, even in the midst of your very hectic schedule, and heed the gentle voice that calls to you to test new wings. The next oracle card is Exchanging Gifts, card number 27, a 9, connected to the 9 of Swords, I'm sure. Exchanging gifts, the law of giving and receiving, currency, trade-offs, weighing costs, and determining value. You're entering into a productive and enriching time when all manner of opportunities are being offered to you. You have everything you need to seize them. Yet in order to honor them, you must put in the time. Exchange your experience and skills and commit heart and soul to what you're choosing to pursue. You can do it. You have what it takes to be successful if you align with the law of giving and receiving. You must engage in a dance and give and take, push and pull, doing and being. If you let fear guide your choices, you could deplete yourself or create an imbalance. This is not a time to just do. Use your currency wisely and be mindful of the value others bring to your life. If this is a new relationship coming towards you, it certainly would be a shame for you to not go on this journey to see where this goes, because you fear that it doesn't fit into the long-term plan. It may be different. It might feel different. Like I said, it feels as though you are out of your comfort zone. Love is an exchange of life force energy between two beings. It grows exponentially when it's reciprocated. You must give and receive in order for love to flourish and abundance to flow between you. Spirit wants you to start accepting all the blessings waiting for you, as well as offer the same gift in return. Open your heart and allow it to be filled. Let love in and let it flow out to you too. Love is truly yours today. And there's definitely an essence of gratitude coming out, which is always an anecdote to a 9 of Swords situation. You know, counting your blessings is so much healthier than counting all of the things that have gone wrong in the past. The third oracle card, card number 21, Dove Spirit, be peace. With her peaceful cooing, the gentle dove spirit invites you to embrace the energy of peace and allow compassion to warm your heart. You always have the power to generate peace within you, and the appearance of dove spirit is a reminder that today and every day is a good day to meditate, to quiet any turbulence within as you embody tranquility. Above, below, and all around you, you may be happening to distract you, but you are called to engage it with the heart of a peacemaker, asking yourself, what would peace do? Can you agree to disagree? The peace you seek rises within and spreads out into the world as Spirit sends her message to remind you of the beauty of a harmonious existence with all that is. How beautiful and powerful is your compassionate heart. However disturbed the waters around you, however troubled your heart, Dove Spirit is there to remind you that peace without begins within, as you reconnect with Spirit through practices that awaken you from spiritual amnesia. Your true nature is a peaceful child of Spirit, but how easily you forget. You're being invited to sit in the cozy, safe nest of Spirit, and soon the waters will become still and you will feel peace again. Be compassionate with yourself at this time, for all of us can forget that peace is always at hand, always there, gifted to us by Spirit. Become the peace you wish to see in the world so you can reduce any suffering, performing acts of kindness and radiating love. There's a lot about give and take. As above, so below. What is within is going to be reflective of what you have in your life, the people that you attract, the experiences that you have. And you're being offered a chance to be at peace, to allow things to unfold organically, to give with your energy as much as you take, to look for reciprocity in all of your dealings. This will even out. Surrender to the divine, the full moon card. The very word climax brings all sorts of ideas and images to mind, agreed? But it really is feelings of this card. Life is coming to a head, a point, a conclusion, or a turning point. There may be some kind of change and possibly even some sort of emotional explosion. Tune into your emotions now and see what they're telling you. They're very likely close to the surface, no matter what the moon cycle you've pulled this card. Matters will soon conclude, and you'll find out whether or not your wishes are going to come true. The odds are in your favor, as this is a positive card, but you may need to work harder than usual to keep cool as events unfold. I am getting the answers I need. A wish you may be about to come true. Like I said, it's make or break time. There could be a sense of madness in the air. Breathe deep and stay calm. You may need to forgive someone or to release negative energy. And it's time to let go of the past and move on. What a beautiful reading. Okay. That's it for this particular pile. I'm going to move on to pile number 2. If you're leaving me there, I hope that you have a really wonderful week. I send you lots of love and warm thoughts, and I will see you again next week. All right, moving on to pile number 2, Magenta Stone. Ten of Wands, Page of Wands, Ace of Swords, the Lovers, the Wheel of Fortune, and your energy is that of the King of Pentacles. See a lot of masculine coming out. The last reading, pile number 1, had a lot of kings and knights, and this is a lot of pages and kings as well. And that's indicative of Mars stationing to go retrograde this week. There's an emphasis on our masculine energy at this time. Now, looking at these cards, this 10 of Wands is a very heavy energy. And coming out next to the Page of Wands is kind of this duality. I think this is a duality within you. Now, you are coming out as the King of Pentacles, meaning you're stepping into an energy where you are secure, you are stable, you are safe. King of Pentacles is not somebody who's going to make rash decisions. He's not somebody who's easily shook or pushed around by others. There's an inner stability and emotional maturity. King of Pentacles is very indicative of a Saturn energy. Saturn coming out a couple of times in this reading as well. King of Pentacles has been through the struggles. He has experienced hardship, and he has learned what it takes in order to be prepared, to have enough in times of, instability like we're in now. There are certain things that we could focus on that we do have, things we can be grateful for. The King of Pentacles is just this wisdom to tame the beast, especially in this card. He has a wolf next to him. Wisdom to be self-reliant and self-sufficient and self-disciplined. Now, as I talk about the King of Pentacles being somebody who has been through hard stuff, he's done the hard work. And the Ten of Wands is that hard work. It is that heavy load of responsibility. This week might be a week where you have to carry a lot of weight for other people. And your patience might be tested, but King of Pentacles has nothing more than patience. That is his greatest attribute, is patience. And he could certainly endure this Ten of Wands. Yet the Page of Wands is a need to be free. It's a need to lighten the load. And this is where I see the duality between your need to work, your need to focus, to do the things that you have to do, right? The Ten of Wands is kind of that final push before you achieve something. So it might be that last stitch effort, the last little bit that you have to give to a situation, but typically it's just enough to get you over that finish line. And the Page of Wands is looking to something new. It's renewed energy. It's childlike. It's free. It could follow whatever it wants to follow. It's a new beginning. Is there something in you that you are deciding what path to take? Is it a path of hard work and determination that ultimately will get you to this King of Pentacles status, where people look at you as a mature and responsible person capable of carrying the weight, capable of being a leader? Or do you want the freedom of a Page of Wands? Are you looking to lighten the load? Now, a Page of Wands cannot handle a Ten of Wands type person. Page of Wands is quite fluid. It's easily ignited. It's easily angered. If you look at a Page of Wands as if you look at it can be an angry toddler. You might be dealing with a lot of other people's stuff this week. Maybe a lot of other people are dealing with drama. And you are like, oh, please. Can we just focus on what is important? Can we just get the work done? This may also be a child in your life, this Page of Wands, where you are continually having to save them, carry the burdens. You know, maybe it is a young adult child who's acting immature. And it's becoming a burden on you. It's becoming a burden because you know that you're near an end of a cycle. And the Ace of Swords is always indicative of communication and of truth. So there's two situations at play here. One is that you are choosing between the Ten of Swords and the Page of Wands. Do you want to increase your responsibility and therefore increase your nobility? Are you going to invest in the long term, even if it means making the sacrifices, doing the hard work? Or are you going to keep it light? Are you going to keep it casual? Are you going to not really invest a whole lot of time and energy into this thing? But I'm definitely picking up on a level of annoyance with this Page of Wands. There's an annoyance, you know, because if you're somebody who is always carrying these 10 of Wands, always carrying this load, and you're kind of looking around at these other people in your life that seem to move freely without responsibility. And maybe that's not even the case. Maybe that's just how you are perceiving it. If you are looking to others and comparing yourself at this time, well, that is one of my mortal sins. See, we're all on our own path. We're all on our own journey. We're all here to experience very different things. And some of us are here to have a very easy life where others provide for us, where others take care of us, where we can kind of come and go and explore and you know, maybe things like money and things like opportunities, it's not a struggle. And then others of us are here to experience things that we really have to work at. Ace of Swords is the truth. It's finding the truth within yourself of who you want to be. Do you want to put in that energy to finish it? Finish the thing, finish the project, take the relationship to the next level, accept a promotion at work. Is there a part of you that feels like you don't know enough? Is there a part of you that feels like you're not qualified, you're not worthy of? Maybe there's a part of you that is afraid you won't be able to handle the load. The Ace of Swords next to the Lovers. There will be clarity. Decisions will be made. Things will become balanced. If this is a relationship in which you have to deliver some truth, that one person's doing all of the work, making all of the effort, and the other person is just simply enjoying the rewards, well, this week brings a conversation that brings equality to the table. Wheel of Fortune, things will change. Your fortune is changing. Your destiny is changing. This is a new karmic cycle. And King of Wands means you've been there, done that. You have the experience, you have the knowledge, you have the wisdom to turn this Wheel of Fortune your direction. Look at the Wheel of Fortune, and here he is holding a wheel. He can direct this any way that he wants this to go. Clarity definitely comes this week. Now, to further clarify, this 10 of Wands is above the card number 32, the Luminous Warrior, and that I'm going to read to you. The luminous warrior has no enemies in this world or the next. He is impeccable in word and deed. He focuses on his light rather than on what hides in the dark. Since he casts no shadow, he is as radiant as the sun and can transform his most terrible enemy into an ally. His power comes not from the sword, but from speaking his truth at all costs. The invitation. The luminous warrior reminds you it is important to focus on your power, wisdom, and beauty. Do not be seduced by what seems wrong with you or with the world. Remember that intention follows attention. So focus on your positive traits. Feed your light with more light until you feel truly empowered. Then there will be a little need for action as you resolve all situations from within. Are you being tempted by your emotions to follow your lower instincts? Are you being invited to enter into a quarrel with someone? Put your sword away. This is not the time for battle. Your enemy is not who you think it is. Do not act from a place of anger that will damage your relationships and hurt the ones you care for. Find the truth hiding in your heart that will affirm your instinct for peace rather than that for war. And I think that says a lot about this Ten of Wands, and it represents sort of taking the higher road, being the bigger person, not shirking your responsibility. And I think this is something you earn. And I think you're going to feel really good about it, King of Pentacles. Now the Page of Wands and the Ace of Swords is above card number 45, which is a card that says time to go. I forget how many cards are in this deck. Time to go. Endings, completion, walking away from something because there is nothing else to learn or experience. You are at the end of one journey and have not yet begun the next. This is a moment to bless your experience thus far. Take stock of what you've learned. It's time to move on to new experiences and a new way of being. There is nothing left for you to do, be, or experience in your present circumstances. Take the risk and move on, even if you need to be in transition for a time. Your destiny is calling you. Relationship message, it's over. Or at the very least, the form this relationship has taken is no longer of service to you or the other person. This is a time of letting go, of knowing that the journey has come to its conclusion. That doesn't mean anything is lost, although this card could speak to a breakup, drifting apart, or the end of a soul contract. It is more about release than destruction. Remember the saying, if you love something, let it go. If it comes back, it's yours. If not, it never was. Endings are always a sign of new beginnings. If you want something deeper, walk away. This message is clear. The path you've been on with your work, creative projects, and business alliances have come to an end. You will not find the success you desire by continuing with what is now in front of you. This is an auspicious sign because there is no choice that will benefit you other than risking stepping into the unknown. It is time to walk towards something new. This card also pertains to the more neutral concept of completion. You've finished your tasks and can rest assured that this ending will open up a powerful new avenue of opportunity, even better than any you can imagine. You have done all you can now. Now trust the Spirit keeps the plan moving forward. Fortune requires you to conclude this chapter of your life. And remember that when you close one door, another opens. Now under the Lover's card is a card of Buffalo Spirit. Card number 10. The abundant universe will provide. 10 breaking down to a 1, which reminds me of this Mars Aries energy, which is the new cycle that you're starting. When End Spirit comes to visit, it's to celebrate the benefits. I'm sorry, that's not even your card. Please ignore that. I flipped right to the 1 as I was saying it breaks down to a 1. Ooh, it's late here. Okay. Buffalo Spirit, the abundant universe will provide. Buffalo Spirit comes to you now to remind you of an amazing manifesting power of gratitude and the extraordinary potential available to you when you adopt a mindset of abundance. The ancient people of the Americas saw the buffalo as a symbol of abundance because the herds roamed far and wide and provided so many gifts: the meat, the hide, the bones. The tribes who hunted the buffalo and used every bit of them, wasting nothing, appreciative of the abundance. So too do you have many gifts available to you. Buffalo Spirit appears to let you know that you are in a powerful time of manifesting your desires, not by force or pushing, but rather by following a natural path that rises up before you, trusting that there is always plenty to go around. Whether it be love, money, inspiration, or support, it is all there for you to claim. When you are grateful, you immediately align with yourself with the truth that the world is rich and teeming with resources. There is always more than enough, and you are always enough. At this time, you can expect that your intentions and needs to come into a form that is right for you. Your heartfelt gratitude is making you a magnet for miracles. Buffalo Spirit's message is to remember that you co-create your reality in partnership with Spirit. So offer up your thanks and prayers even before you see conditions you desire, not just for yourself, but for others too. Then you will quickly see the results in tangible ways. Gratitude has the magic to grow the good, so offer thanks and praise as you acknowledge that you have all that is possible. And the Wheel of Fortune, be bold and make the first move. Cardinal Moon. This is all a new beginning. If you are not walking away from a relationship that is unbalanced, then at the very least you are ending that cycle by speaking up, by bringing clarity and truth to the situation. You cannot stay in situations where you feel unappreciated. In order to be able to focus on abundance, you have to meet your self-worth. And I think that's really important for you this week. To really believe in Spirit, to really believe in your strength, to really believe that everything that you have been through has led you to a point where you can trust yourself right now. Trust yourself to make these decisions. Trust yourself to change your circumstances for the better. And trust that you deserve it. Okay, pile number 2. If that's where I leave you, then I will see you next week. I hope you have a wonderful week. Take care. Bye. All right. We are moving on to pile number 3. Right at 1 hour. Okay. Just checking the time really quick. Okay, for you, we have the 8 of Cups. The 8 Pentacles. the Tower in reverse, the Judgment card, the Three of Cups, and you are coming out as a Page of Swords. Got the card of the Sweat Lodge. Gross. Never-ending story. Canary Spirit. And the first quarter moon, your commitment is being tested. Okay. So, pile number 3. There seems to be a little bit of resistance going on here. You are coming out as the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords is a really awesome energy because of its willingness to learn, its willingness to change its perspective, its openness to listen to spirit, to listen to intuition, and it can be easily guided, right? Page of Swords moves very easily. It moves very swiftly. It's not stuck on agendas. It's not stuck on conformity at all. The Page of Swords is a very honest energy. Honest to itself. And there's a lot of yellow coming out in this reading, and that's no surprise because we picked a yellow stone. Yellow seems to be really jumping out at me in this reading. The yellow in the cups, the yellow in the moon, the yellow in the Eight of Pentacles, the yellow in the Tower, the yellow in the trumpets. Canary Spirit is yellow, meaning there is a gift. There is a gift being given to you this week. Maybe it is a gift of clarity. Maybe it's leading you towards your happiness. Eight of Cups is indicative of walking away, moving on from something. Maybe you walked away from a job, though it feels a lot like a relationship. Maybe you walked away from a relationship. Maybe there has been a sense of distance, a sense of needing more, of wanting more, of having to walk away from the things that you do love and value, because that need for more is so deep within you. It's also a card of searching for higher truth, searching for healing. Eight of Cups is obviously, because my title of my channel, Eight of Cups, is always indicative of a journey. And it's a spiritual journey, and it's healing, and it takes us up this mountain. It's not an easy terrain. It's not an easy journey. There's a lot of exposure to these elements along this journey. There's a lot of things, the sun and the moon. There's a need to illuminate both our light and our dark, our fears and our intentions. Now, the Eight of Pentacles is a very different energy. Eight of Pentacles is our flow. It's where we're comfort. This is really explaining to me in kind of terms of a north node, south node kind of energy. North Node, Eight of Cups, being led to something higher, something greater. It is your growth, meaning you're being invited into a situation that is going to expand your spiritual growth. And yet here you are, focusing on the mundane things, focusing on money, focusing on work. This is kind of keeping your head down, keeping to yourself, making sure that your things are done and taken care of, your responsibilities are fulfilled. And I don't know why, but I'm picking up on a very almost arrogant energy of avoidance with this Eight of Pentacles. Almost forcing yourself to be busy. Too busy to go on this journey of self-exploration, this journey of healing. Eight of Pentacles oftentimes talks to me about a need to control the situation. Eight of Pentacles is certainly a positive card because it means we're willing to put in the work. We're willing to put in the hard hours. We're willing to really focus on what matters now. But the Tower in reverse tells me that you are resisting change, trying to keep doing the same thing over and over. This is also very indicative of repeated patterns. Walking away from things when they get hard. Maybe not allowing yourself to go really to a level of intimacy and trust with another person, so you kind of keep things simple in your life. Somebody that just sort of keeps to themselves. Yet this Eight of Cups yearns for some kind of connection. There is something within you that is not fulfilled, and no matter how many successes that you have, there is still a cup that you are searching for. There is still a deeper meaning that you are hoping to find. There's something different about this Eight of Pentacles. Because in a way, I respect this Eight of Pentacles. In a way, I respect that if this is what life is about, then I'm simply going to put my head down and do the things that I have to do until I can get the hell out of here, right? Till I move on to the next thing. But the next thing is going to require change. The next experience on your journey, on your path, is going to require change. And I think the Tower represents the fact that it will be much easier if you let go of your need to control and dictate the outcome. If you are playing it safe in any way in your life whatsoever, I think it's going to become very obvious this week. You know, every day will sort of feel the same. And yet every night there will be this feeling of loneliness or emptiness. You know, like, what is it all for? What am I working for? The Tower card in reverse is next to the card of Judgment, and Judgment is a wake-up call. It is the awakening moment. You are being called to go on a deeper journey. And although it might be easier to play it safe and just stick to what you know, the things that you're good at, I don't think you're going to have much choice. I think your desire for something much deeper is going to trump your desire to keep everything the same. The Judgment card is also indicative that your actions are going to affect a lot of other people. Whatever change is occurring is very important, because I think that you're stepping into, what starts as a learning phase, and then you become the teacher. And there's cyclical energy here, and Judgment is a reminder that Jupiter is moving direct. It is a reminder that the things that you invested in are showing a return. And maybe the seeds that we planted a while ago are coming to light, and all of a sudden we have to decide, oh my God, do I even want to go there? Do I even want to do that anymore? And yet the Judgment card says, no, this is something you truly, deeply wanted for you. Judgment and the Three of Cups is also indicative of a reconciliation. So if it is a relationship that you walked away from, there is a second chance. There is an opportunity to make things right. Tower in reverse. There is an opportunity, if you answer that call, to save everything before it falls apart. Judgment with that Page of Swords, it's just such a fast-moving energy. It's like one day you wake up and you just feel differently. You feel differently about things. I think priorities are changing a lot for you this week. And I just keep hearing over and over, there has to be something more to this. There has to be a greater purpose, a greater meaning. When life is full of mundane activities and we're feeling weary and tired, it is always nice to know that there is a greater purpose. If you're dealing with getting kids off to school and on schedule and homeschooling and balancing schedules and dinners and grocery shopping and all of that kind of stuff that happens in the fall when we're all slinking back into our routines. And what is the greater picture? What is the reward for all your hard work? You can have 8 pentacles, you could have 9 pentacles, you could have 10 pentacles. But at some point, aren't you going to want to share those pentacles with someone? Aren't you going to want to share those experiences with someone that you love? Three of Cups is indicative of moving towards an energy of celebration. And it's much different than the Tower card. Judgment might be the very thing that comes in and saves the day, that change of perspective, your ability to see things from a different space, your ability to be open to the messages the universe is giving you, even if it's through a dream or a stranger saying something to you that you didn't expect. Page of Swords. There is communication, there is messages coming that could really change the way you feel about something. Now, these last couple of oracle cards I'm going to read to you. There's not a lot of them, and I think they hold a lot of different messages, so it's definitely important. Card number 54, the Sweat Lodge. The Sweat Lodge represents the womb of the Mother Earth. Volcanic stones are heated in a fire outside, then brought into the lodge and placed in a shallow hole in the center. Participants sit in complete darkness around the red-hot stones to sweat away old habits and beliefs and heal disease. When you return humbly to the womb of the mother, you are offered second chances. This is a time to journey inward into the dark and hidden places of your soul to reconnect with the ancient earth wisdom. You can also create a sacred and intimate space in the dark by lighting a candle. Observe what emerges and without judging it, invite it to bring you its gifts. You are being offered an opportunity to shed and heal from the aspects of your life that you have outgrown. Do not worry that you will be consumed by the process. Life is offering you a second chance. Take it, since this chance may not come your way again for a while. Mother Earth is calling you into her womb and inviting you to incubate as long as needed for a spiritual rebirth. Gift yourself time to be with your darkness, your fears, your pain, and your seeds of beautiful potential until you come out the other side free, wise, and full of creativity. Now the next oracle card is card number 37. This comes out right below the Eight of Pentacles, the never-ending story. (37) breaking down to a 10, which is indicative of the ending of a cycle. Self-criticism, the wounded ego, and unnecessary drama. There is a story woven through the imperfect fabric of life that tells of hurt and loss, rejection and humiliation, self-loathing and arrogance, and all manner of suffering born of unnecessary dramas. It is the old story whose refrain is that you cannot do this, must not go there, should not say that, lest your world come crumbling down. Today, know that none of this is actually true. The sky is not falling. The voice you hear is just a small, sacred, conditioned part of you that got stuck in a lie, wants to protect you, and needs to be seen as a victim. Love that lost piece of you. Fear is all it knows. Distorted guidance is preventing you from being true to yourself. You are not your story, and the narrator is simply the voice of your fearful part, small and vulnerable and easily soothed. Sometimes your heart enters into a contract with another that results in pain, not because of abuse or neglect, but for other more complex reasons. Shame, fear of intimacy, and low self-esteem are the greatest challenges to the success of a relationship. Consider how valuable this knowledge is, however. Right now you have an opportunity for important healing, but you must reflect on the stories you weave about love, connection, abandonment, rejection, and loneliness. Not only do you need to begin a new story, you need to forgive yourself for telling yourself the old ones. Have compassion for the part of you that believes all those narratives. None of them were ever true anyways. The next oracle card, card number 12, Canary Spirit. Sing your own song. Number 12 breaking down to a 3, which is a very creative energy as well. There's a lot of creativity coming from you, which tells me that whatever's happening is very innovative. There's a lot of self-improvement here. Canary spirit arrives to help you find your authentic voice and express what is in your heart. Free yourself to experience your inner light and let it shine as canary spirit sings to remind you of your inherent joy and to support you as you sing your own song. Now is the time to let the world know who you really are. Canary spirit's message is that you are free to be yourself and express your most cherished desires. The world wants to hear your song. If your inquiry is about a relationship, you're being called to fully be yourself. For only then will you find harmony and joy. You can make music with others so beautifully when your note rings true. Do you feel that shift? This intense healing and focus? Need to correct the way that you feel about yourself, your thought processes, that story you tell yourself of failure, of all the way that things have ended in the past and things don't work out for you. And that Tower in reverse is like that last minute save where you step into who you truly are. You step into your real essence. You start to voice the things that you need. You start to explain your fears. You let people see you. Even if it's vulnerable, even if it feels hard. Your commitment is being tested. First quarter moon. This comes out underneath this 3 of Cups. There could be some challenges coming your way, but they're just the universe's way of testing you. The first quarter moon calls for you to face any hurdles with confidence. This is why you need that confidence. What do you actually think is possible? If you believe you can do it, then you probably can. And if you spend your life affirming that something is too big for you to surmount, it probably is. See how it works? Do you believe your dreams will come true, or have you secretly already given up? Showing some commitment now will help you move towards your desired outcome. What you believe to be true is true for you, so believe in yourself. I am committed to my dreams and move towards them with confidence. This is your second chance. And this is whether or not you're going to step into your self-worth and take this second chance. The answer to your question is yes, but not yet. You're halfway to your goal. You still need to put in a bit more effort. Sometimes we just need to realize how much we want something, or you need to recommit to someone or something. Wow, that's a big week for you. All right, guys, that is the last pile. I will be back next week with another reading. And until then, I wish you the very best. And I hope it's an amazing week. Lots of love. Good night.